I just recorded for about 10 minutes and was never recording that whole time, yapped that whole time. Basically, all I said was the Cleveland Cavaliers are 18 for 20 from the free throw line, while the Pacers are 8 of 10 and the Cavs are still down 41 at halftime. They are down more points than they have scored. They're down 41, they've scored 39. That series is over. Cavs, I gave you way too much faith. I gave you way too much hope. Y'all are ass. I don't care anything about it. And all I had finished talking about was pretty much my first quarter notes for Nuggets, Thunder at Nuggets. I was talking about how Lou Dort was ass. That was literally the first note that I had written down. He ended up the game with 19 minutes because Alex Caruso literally took his minutes because he was that ass. He only shot threes. He shot 10 of them. He was 2 for 10 from three. He hit the only two threes of OKC's starting lineup. Meanwhile, Alex Caruso off the bench hit 2. Aaron Wiggins off the bench hit 3. Cason Wallace off the bench hit 3. And then every player that took a 3 other than Michael Porter Jr. and Peyton Watson hit at least 2 threes for the Nuggets. That's just pitiful. At the end of the first quarter, these two teams were combined 1 of 25 from 3. Pitiful. Fewest combined points through a first quarter in playoff history. Pitiful. It was bad hoops, man. The defense was good, but like the defense wasn't so stifling from either team, especially in that first quarter, that the offense should have been that ass. It was more just like bad hoops was being played. I did not enjoy watching the first quarter of this game or really any of this game at all. Thunder's defense was dominant late in the first into the second quarter, especially in those non-Jokic minutes. The Nuggets literally did not score for 7 minutes during that time, and that's a time where I was a little worried about the Thunder because I was like, while the Nuggets haven't scored, y'all are struggling offensively, so you're not really running away with this game the way you want to while Jokic is on the bench and you have held them scoreless for 7 minutes. I still really just don't trust OKC's offense. I don't think they have enough offensive threats, and I especially don't think they have enough three-point shooting threats, especially when you're going against a team like Denver where you should be able to punish a Jamal Murray matchup or an Nikola Jokic matchup for the entire game. The Thunder haven't been able to do that even on switches just because they don't have guys that you trust offensively, and then there are guys like Shea and J-Dub who you think you should trust offensively have not played great this series, especially Shea. So it's just really unfortunate. A lot of that Shea struggles, though, I'm going to give as credit to the Nuggets because they are throwing a ton of bodies at this man. And for one, his playmaking deficiencies are showing a lot in this series. But at the same time, it's not as much his playmaking deficiencies to me, at least in this game, as it is the fact that his role players, when he's getting dribble penetration through Denver's zone, because they are mostly running zone, he's getting 3 bodies thrown at him, and then he's passing it out, and he's finding a Lou Dort who's wide open. Lou Dort's just going 2 for 10 for 3 and absolutely playing like ass. So, like, it's not really all Shea's fault. Christian Brown was getting to the line like prime James Harden. He had like 8 free throw attempts in the first half. It was insane. I think he was like 6 for 8, 7 for 8 or something in the first half from the free throw line. The way that the way that people complain about Shea getting to the line, that's like what he was doing in the first half. I don't think he got a single free throw attempt in the second half, but in the first half, it was absolutely nuts. Both teams in the first half, especially in the second quarter, were just turning the ball over at an astounding rate. I think they both had like 10 plus by halftime. Like, it was absolutely nuts. Jokic didn't hit his first shot until 6 minutes left in the first half, and like I said, in the non-Jokic minutes, you hold them scoreless for 7 minutes, and then Jokic doesn't score his first basket outside of a free throw, his first actual field goal until there's 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and you can't run away with this game. That's kind of pitiful for me if you're OKC. Like, you win this game because you thank God that your defense is good enough to where Jokic has had 2 of the worst playoff performances of his career in back-to-back games. But at the same time, when he's playing that ass, you should probably be able to run away with these games. And you went 1-1 in those 2 games where he played like ass, and in the second one, you damn near lost. So I'm very concerned about OKC still. The Nuggets didn't hit their first 3 until Russ hit a corner 3 with 4 minutes left in the first half. That was absolutely nuts. J-Dub and Chet were both struggling this whole game. Chet had a terrible game. Outside of Lou Dort, he was OKC's worst starter. 4 for 10 is just not enough shots for him. Like, you and Lou Dort should not be taking the same amount of shots. Ever. Aaron Wiggins should not take 2 less shots than you. Cason Wallace should not take 3 less shots than you. Alex Caruso should not take 3 less shots than you. Mind you, this wasn't a blowout. It was a 5-point game. It was a close game for most of the game. Chet Holmgren did not do a damn thing today. Jalen Williams, man. 2 for 13, didn't hit a 3. 6 of your 10 points came from the free throw line. You were a -3. You better thank God y'all won this game, because it's like, after the night you had the game before, where I'm begging for you to get the ball on the last possession of the fourth quarter and you don't get it, for you to come out here and play this ass is just phenomenally bad. Like, 2 of 13, gang. You had 4 points from the field and out of your 10 points. The other ones were free throws. That's embarrassingly bad. Now, the one thing I will say about OKC's defense with guys like Chet, with guys like Shea, who was helping on weak side a lot, with guys like that, when they're helping on weak side with Jokic, it does help a lot. That's a part of the reason that Jokic has been struggling so much this series, and we're going to talk more about Jokic, who went 7 of 22, 2 for 8 from 3. 11 of his 27 points came from the free throw line. He did have 13 boards. But like only 3 assists. That's because Jamal Murray, 5 of 15. Christian Brown, 4 of 11, 2 for 9 from 3. Michael Porter Jr., 1 of 7, 0 for 5 from 3. Mind you, he just had an absolute banger of a game in the game before. Aaron Gordon was really was again one of their best players tonight, probably one of their top 2 best players tonight, which he's been consistently throughout these playoffs. But it's just like there's some concerning things here because it's like the Nuggets played almost their all-time worst offensive game, and OKC still couldn't run away with this at all. Like back-to-back worst playoff games of career ever for Jokic, and OKC barely won one of those games. And I mean, the good thing for the Thunder here is they got rid of that idea that they could only win if they were up by 30, if they could only get up to a hot start, and that they couldn't win if it was a clutch game, especially against a team like the Nuggets. That's a really good thing that they got over that hump, that they kind of broke that narrative a little bit, but at the same time, it's like you barely won in a clutch game, in a game where Jokic had the worst game of his playoff career, maybe only comparison to the last game, and where Jamal Murray played like ass. Michael Porter Jr. hit one shot. Aaron Gordon was okay. Christian Brown was mid at best. Like, they were getting nothing off their bench. Russell Westbrook was like 2 for 11, 2 for 12. And you still only won this game by 5 points because Shea, while he was your best offensive player, didn't really do anything especially impressive today. Or like Alex Caruso, and your bench gave you like the best production you're ever going to get from your bench as this current bench is set up. And Alex Caruso, especially in that first half, was burning them. I think he started the game out like 3 for 3 and everything like that, so that's good for him. And Cason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins both ended up having really efficient nights, scored some solid points in their limited minutes as well. But it's like barely winning the game when Nikola Jokic has the worst playoff game of his career is a little concerning, especially after in Game 3 you really should have won it and you really could have won it and you just didn't capitalize off of that. So now you're going back into OKC, and I think even though Denver lost this game and they could very well be looking at themselves, pissed off at themselves because they should be up 3-1 if they just have an okay game tonight, I also think they feel okay because it's like, okay, we're not going to play as bad as we played tonight, another game in this series, and we still only lost by 5. So there's ups and downs to this for both sides, but I'm very interested in it, man. But yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. All glory to God as always, man. I'm excited for tomorrow. Minnesota plays Golden State and Boston plays New York, so I'm excited for both of those games, especially the Boston game. So yeah, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm not watching the second half of Cavs Pacers unless somehow by some miracle Jesus comes back to earth and the Cavs somehow make this a close game, because as I speak, they are still down 41 with 10.5 minutes to go in the third. I'm not watching that. So yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching as always, man. And all glory to God as always. All right, peace out, bro.